So good morning one and all. So today we have discussed about the reinforced earth foundation, session 2. So in the previous session what we have discussed, the bearing capacity, how to increase the bearing capacity and reduce the settlement. So we have to provide the reinforced strips or any geosynthetic materials to increase the property of the soil mass. So here the continuation in the session 2. So already what we have discussed, the reinforced soil foundation can improve the bearing capacity of the foundation and reduce the settlement of the soil. So which has been widely applied to the treatment and improvement of the soft soil foundation. Here the important will be the failure surface, the location of failure surface. The failure surface in the reinforced soil mass usually divide the soil into two zones. One is active and resistant. So this part will be the active and this will be the resistant part. This will be the failure one. This is particularly important in mechanical stabilization and soil nailing design, in which the pull-out resistance of the reinforcing element is calculated along its embedded length in the resistant zone. When inextensible reinforcements are used for mechanical stabilization, the failure surface is assumed to be bilinear. With extensible reinforcements, that surface coincide with the Coulomb or Rankins active failure plane. So here the active zone, so two cases, one is inextensible and extensible. In this inextensible cases, so we have active zone and resistance zone, the active length and resistance length, and it will be the height of the failure soil mass, h1 by 2 and h1 by 2, and h will be the height of the wall. So zone of maximum stress or potential failure surface, the soil reinforcement, the total length. So here the failure is like this, and then not a linear, it's a bilinear, and it will be the linear. So with the beta and phi values. The modes of internal failure, two important modes of internal failure. One is tensile forces and second one is the pull-out. So we have to care about the tensile force and pull-out resistance. The internal failure of mechanically stabilized soil structure can occur in two different ways: the tensile forces and, in the case of rigid reinforcements, the shear forces. So what we have discussed in the second module, talking about the tensile strength of the strip, because the soil mass is weak in the tensile. That's why we have to introduce or inclusion of the tension members like strips, reinforcing materials. So increase the bearing capacity, and the inclusion becomes so large that the inclusions elongate excessively or break, leading to large movements and possible collapse of the structure. This mode of failure is called failure by elongation or breakage of the reinforcements. The tensile forces in the reinforcement become larger than the pull-out resistance, that is, the force required to pull out the reinforcement out of the soil mass. This in turn increases the shear stresses in the surrounding soil, leading to large movements and possible collapse of the structure. This mode of failure is called failure by pull-out. So we are talking about the pull-out resistance. So in details we have to study up the tensile force or tensile strength and pull-out resistance. So here again, in the general case, the tension failure will be between the active zone and the resistant zone. The variation of the tensile forces along the reinforcement and the location of maximum force has been established both experimentally through the instrumented models and full-scale structures, and theoretically using numerical analysis. So already we have talking about in the study material the numerical analysis, where we have to find out the tension, strength, and tensile force, also how to find out the tensile force in the member. As shown in the figure, the maximum tensile force in the reinforcement is generally located some distance behind the facing of the reinforcement. In order to create a maximum force at that location, the shear stresses exerted by the fill on the reinforcement must be in opposite directions on the two sides of the peak force as shown. In the pull-out resistance of the reinforcement is defined by the ultimate tensile strength, ultimate tensile load required to generate outward sliding of the reinforcement through the reinforced soil mass. Several approaches and approaches and design equations have been developed and are currently used to estimate the pull-out resistance by considering frictional resistance and passive resistance or combination of both. So we are talking about the pull-out resistance. So here in some cases, combination of both. So here the pull-out reinforcement, see here the dotted lines, so it will be affected. So in the dotted, the failure with the bilinear failure mechanism by pull-out. Thank you one and all. So in the next, so we'll go to the third session.